Welcome to Basement Movie Room. So this week we watched Class of 1999 from 1989. So this is directed by Mark Lester, I believe, and starring Malcolm McDowell, Patrick Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Stacy Keach, and that's really all the actors I really need to go into. Everybody else is like, hey, it's that guy.
Yeah.
But nobody of note. This guy we're seeing on screen right now is a recognizable character that plays one of the teachers, but ultimately I don't know his name. So Class of 1999 is set in a dystopian future of 1999, which is 23 years in the past now. We graduated high school in 1999.
Yeah.
Dyersburg High School. Go Trojans.
100%. Trojans.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, clearly this movie was a little ahead of its time on calling itself Class of 19. It's a sequel to Class of 1984, which you were talking about, which I don't remember Class of 1984 at all. I can't claim.
It's more grounded in reality. Yeah.
This one, so what this one is, I'm looking at this Amazon poster. That's terrible.
It's so bad.
So what this one is essentially the United States is kind of broken down at this point, and there are like zones in cities that are like are free fire zones.
Yeah.
Is what they call it. And in these zones, apparently kids still go to high school, but there's no police intervention. The schools are just like gang-ridden and terrible. This one takes place in Seattle in 1999.
It's not too far off right now.
Not too far off at all. Yeah, 2000.
Oh, you have a beautiful
Right.
singing voice.
I know. You're welcome. You're welcome, America. So we open up this movie with a kid who's apparently high school age, getting out of a maximum security prison, is what it looks like. And he leaves the prison and meets up with his brother, Angel,
Yeah.
and his friend, I don't know, Skipper. I don't remember his name.
Something like that.
Yeah, he doesn't last long in the movie. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So he gets out of prison, and apparently he has to go back to high school. So
Just gotta get that G.
interspersed with this, you're also being introduced to Malcolm McDowell's character, who's the principal of Kennedy High School in Seattle, in the free fire zone, which means there's no police there. It's like lawless country. And he's being introduced to Stacy Keach's character, who is a scientist, I guess, with like silver eyes and a nice weird mullet.
Oh, the
going
mullet
on.
is great.
And Stacy Keach is giving a
It's a
speech
rat tail.
on these three new. Yeah, it's a rat
More
tail
of a
for
rat
sure.
tail.
It's more of a rat tail than it is a mullet. It's like it curves in slowly and goes to a point on the back of his head.
Yeah.
And I know a mullet, and that's not really a mullet.
You also know a rat tail.
I do know a rat tail. Had plenty of those when I was a kid. I'm sorry, America.
Nice.
Thinking of growing another one. Nah, just
Yeah.
kidding. I can't grow that
This
much
is
hair
where you
anymore.
gotta flash your middle school.
If I had one of the rat tail,
Primary
I'd own it and I would put it up here.
Oh.
I promise you, I would let everybody see it.
I got the yearbooks.
Yeah, I think there's only mullets. It's like the 4th grade yearbook. I probably got
you
the
can't see the
I got the
rat tail.
flowing mullet
Yeah.
pretty good.
Can't see the rat tail in the pictures.
In any case, beyond my terrible hair decisions in the past, I was a big Jaromir Jagr fan. What am I going to say? I don't know.
Sure.
So, it was before Jaromir Jagr. I had a mullet on my own. So, Stacy Keach is the head of this company that is producing these androids who are going to be the new school teachers to control these gang-ridden schools. So he introduces 3 school teachers. Patrick Kilpatrick. Oh, Pam Grier. I forgot to mention her. Pam Grier is one of the teachers. And then this other older gentleman whose name I don't know as an actor, but he's recognizable.
Very.
And the funny thing is, in this scene, he's like, points to Kilpatrick, who is a very recognizable character actor, who's played in a lot of movies, a bad guy in a lot of movies. And he's like, history teacher. And then, I don't remember what Pam Grier was.
Chemistry.
Chemistry, yeah. And that's right.
And,
she ends up being the chemistry.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was like, all the kinds of mathematics.
Math, yeah.
And then, so Malcolm McDowell's like, this sounds great. You know, these robots are going to keep these kids under control. They're going to be able to do these things. So they get them into school. And the movie kind of just boom, right into the school after that. Like, what is his name? Carl or Clyde or... I don't know. The main character, our teenager boy who got out of prison,
I think,
something like that, is going back to school. You see, like, he's in this Black Heart gang, and there's another gang, the Razor's Edges or something like that, is the other, like, Hispanic gang that's against him. And you see him go back into school, and he has to get by this Hispanic gang. They're all got guns, but apparently they just still go to school free. I mean, they don't care. They just go to school. They're like, oh, we got to go to school. We leave our guns behind. And the schools are protected by private security, but these teachers have been put in place. So the first day of school, you see people misbehaving in these classes, and Pam Grier beats the shit out of some of these like Razor Edge game guys, and they all start paying attention. And the main character here, Clyde or whatever his name is, or Carl, I don't remember his name. He's very forgettable. I think that's why. Yeah. He wants to go on the straight and narrow at this point. He doesn't want to go back to prison. He wants to be a good student, and he meets the principal's daughter, who is like a normal person in the middle of this gang school.
He does dress like Axl Rose.
He dresses terribly, and he never changes clothes
throughout the movie. So he doesn't change clothes for about the first hour.
Yeah,
and then he transforms into Axl Rose.
Yeah,
when he becomes.
He gets backwards hat with the do-rag on.
Yeah, and the do-rag and all that. Yeah.
So slowly they start discovering that these teachers aren't normal. Pam Grier kicks the ass of 3 or 4 kids in her class, and everybody starts listening. The history teacher. Sorry, I'm laughing already because it's the funniest scene.
That was a great
scene. Two of the rival gangs get in a fight in his classroom, and you see through their eyes and their computer things, the Terminator type thing. And he's like Corporal Punishment. And he grabs him and spanks him, and it's hilarious because it looks. He's like
sped up. He's got his feet on the other one that's on the ground.
He's got his feet on the other one holding him down.
Yeah,
and then it starts. These teachers get more and more crazy and start killing students, including our main character's best friend. They kill him. They kill. Another friend of the main character. They kill his brother, and it come to find out these teachers are actually androids that were built for war, that have been adapted to be school because they didn't need them for war anymore. They need them more in the inner city. So Stacy Keach is a crazy person in this movie. He's in there yes, more, Kylo Ren, more killing, And he's all about a killing that they're doing. He's oh, that guy pulled a gun on him. That's why he broke his neck. Well, clearly that guy couldn't have even shot him. He was on drugs, So Keach kind of encourages behavior. So the 3 teachers get together. The android teachers get together, and they decide to use their war things to Yojimbo is what I would say this, because they're kind of working both sides. They call each side and say that this is going on. They get them to come into a war zone. And they show up to the war zone and start killing people in the war zone. Yeah. And that's where our main character discovers the history teacher is there killing people. And he kind of understands after he shoots him that they're not people. They're something else. So there's a lot more that goes on. His brother gets killed. Angel gets killed by the cyborgs, and they blame it on the other gang. Yeah. And then one of the other gang gets killed by the android cyborgs. Mm-hmm. And they blame it on the Black Hearts, our main character's gang. So they're trying to get him to go to war, but the main character is actually not an idiot, shockingly, in this movie. He understands what's going on here, so he shows up and is like, hey, this is actually the teachers, and everybody gets along all of a sudden. Yeah. It was a little too easy. Everybody gets along, and they decide to take down the teachers. Well, pretty much every one of them dies, except for our main character, the principal's daughter. The principal dies. Malcolm McDowell's principal guy. The principal dies because he doesn't want to go along with what they're doing. Yeah. And so you get the final showdown. Pam Grier's robot gets her chest ripped open, and she's got a flamethrower, and they finally blow her up. They kill the older guy robot by they shoot him in the face, right? Like, get a machine gun in his mouth and shoot him in the face, and take him out. But the main bad guy ultimately is
the math teacher.
The math / gym teacher.
Gym teacher.
Who's supposed to be the history teacher according to the first scene in the movie.
Yeah.
He's a lot more tough. He's like the toughest of them, and he's got like a rocket arm, and it takes a lot more to take him down. But they ultimately take him down, obviously. And really, the only ones who survive is the principal's daughter and our main character, and they barely survive.
It's kind of like typical 80s.
Yeah. It's typical.
I mean, this is an 89, 90 film. So.
Yeah.
It's
it's
in that
firmly in the 80s
100%
sci-fi action type movie.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see the influences of the first Terminator movie. The
yeah.
second Terminator hadn't come out at this point, because it's like 92.
Yeah.
So you can clearly see the influences from Terminator, because this has...
Which I made the comment. I was like, man, taking a lot of, Terminator. I was like, and I mentioned T2. And like, when did this come out? I was like, well, like 89, 90. So T2 didn't come out yet.
Yeah, this is well after T2, for sure. I mean, well before
T2.
Yeah, a couple of years.
So, I mean, the effects were pretty good.
So, in other words, James Cameron stole from this movie. I'm just going to say it right now.
Yeah.
Jimmy Cameron, you son of a...
I think the special effects were pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't catch who did the special effects for this movie, but I'm sure it was somebody who did a good job, because it was robots who have been programmed to teach and discipline students in violence-prone school turn homicidal.
Even that last scene of them killing or taking care of the gym teacher.
Yeah.
When they call him.
It gets a little dodgy there, but for 89, it's not bad.
It's still pretty good.
I mean, we're pre-Jurassic Park, because that's how I judge CG at this point in my life. It's like, if you are pre-Jurassic Park, you can get away with a lot for me. But if you're a post-Jurassic Park, what is your damn problem?
Oh, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, it's just that doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough. So it's a short movie. It's 93 minutes.
Yeah.
You can get through this pretty easy. It's worth a watch. There's no doubt. It's worth a watch.
The art for this, I think, was done after the movie.
Oh no, that's like a late 90s art for sure. That's like
maybe
we want to probably we want to work off of Terminator's success, because clearly that's what that's supposed to be.
But I remember this movie being played, I think, on USA Open.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I always used to come in like at the later half of the movie when they were attacking the teachers in the school.
I remember renting it from good old Video World.
Oh Lord,
because I had to see it.
Yeah, and I remember that one scene with the guy with the claw, the old man with the claw.
Oh
one guy and has the drill bit come out of his hand. That always stood out in my head as a kid. So
shaking the brain there.
Yep. So it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. Is it a great movie? God, no.
No.
It's pretty terrible.
Some of the dialogue is like, oh boy.
Yeah. So
it makes sense though for this kind of movie.
And music-wise, it's just generic 80s.
It was the
synth.
Terrible B-roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's not great music.
No.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we have much else to say about it unless you do.
No.
So, rating. I'll let you go first.
Oh. This is a tough one to rate.
I know right where I am with it.
I gotta go probably a 2.5.
Yep. That's it. Yeah. It's a 2.5.
I mean, it's
mediocre.
It is very mediocre, but it's fun to watch. I remember a lot of the scenes from when I was a kid, but 2.5 is enough.
It's a 2.5 for me as well.
On a vinegar
that is
scale?
Correct. It's not a vinegar syndrome film, so we can't do that.
But it would be
5.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. It's a fun watch if you're okay with watching some silly stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not a great movie. it's not a good movie.
If you're bored.
It's just a fun enough watch.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see you next time.
You did say you had a lot of the attire that they wore.
I wore exactly those same clothes in 1999. It makes exact sense.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. I mean, do you not remember our graduation when I was wearing those exact duds?
I mean...
We'll see you next time on Basement Movie Room.